Starting on Friday, the roughly 600,000 people living in Baltimore will be constantly recorded whenever they step out under the open sky. For the next 6 months, up to 3 airplanes outfitted with wide-angle cameras will sweep over Baltimore in daytime flights designed to capture movements across about 90% of the city. Joining us now from Charlotte, North Carolina is Roger Green. Roger, is this an overall invasion of privacy?
Nietzsche, I'm concerned about this. I think this could be a slippery slope. For many, they view it as a 50-50 proposition. There are some that think that it's necessary because Baltimore has been so violent over the past few years. But my concern is why is it always communities that have a concentration of blacks and minorities and not, just conversations of communities in general. We never see this in Waco, Texas. We never see this in Hartford, Connecticut. We never see this in South Bend, Indiana, who also have high concentrations of murders and crime running rampant in their cities. It's always the Baltimores, the St. Louis's, the Chicagos, the Atlantas. So I'm very concerned that this is an invasion of privacy.
I mean, there's already street level cameras. There's already license plate detectors, and also gunfire sound detectors that police already use in their efforts to solve crimes. Is this like overkill in some kind of way?
I think the main points here is that it's continuous 24-hour overhead aerial cameras that will invade into privacy. As you mentioned, there are 600,000, roughly 600,000 people in Baltimore proper. This will infringe on the rights of those that are not doing crimes, not doing things that are against the law. So even the American Civil Liberties Union sees this as an invasion of privacy. So it's almost like I feel like we're in the movie Enemy of the State with Will Smith, where you have these illegal wiretaps and you have these cameras everywhere, and they are invading privacy of people who are law-abiding citizens.
Yeah, I mean, it does seem like it will violate people's rights across an entire city. I mean, to know that when you step outside of your house, that you are going to be videotaped, that your photo is going to be captured, that where you went, how you went, who you spent time with is going to be captured, and for what reason. Especially, like you said, for those who are not in any capacity committing any kind of crimes, how is this going to impact the African American community? Are they going to feel like they're more of a target?
Nietzsche, I think it's one of those situations where it's treating the symptoms but not the sickness. I would much rather see the billions upon billions of dollars being poured into actual resources, infrastructure, or programs to combat the crime instead of just treating the symptoms and going after them just to throw people in jail. Until we deal with the systematic issues that are happening in this community, those cameras really aren't going to serve any type of result to decreasing crime other than just furthering the disproportionate minority confinement that we already have within this country and in like communities.
Some have said that it is or could be the equivalent of having a police officer following every single resident wherever they go, whenever they leave their home, in any capacity, and that would definitely feel like an infringement on our privacy. Uh, I'm very curious to see how this pilot program works its way out, and it is a pilot program. I'll be interested to see how that pans out. Roger, thank you so much for joining us today.
It's always a pleasure talking with you, Nietzsche.